Hey, what's up, DC? This is John again. I made 2 videos so far. I made a third one. I think only 4 of you watched it. I apologize. I actually thought the video kind of sucked. I was pretty excited when I made it. The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, that was great. The second time I watched it, I was like, yeah, and I took it down. I wanted to make a better third video, and I also wanted to make a more thoughtful video about where I'm at in vinyl collecting, and just my history with vinyl collecting. See, well, right now I've got about 100 records total, about 100. My first record player was some of you probably had a similar one. It was like a suitcase, and you opened it, and you could play 45s on it. It didn't have a selector for 33 1/3. It only played about 45s. It had one tiny speaker, probably, I don't know, like 4 inches. Made everything sound really super staticky. That was my first record player, and my first records weren't even really mine. They were my dad's. They're his 45s from when he was probably, I'm guessing, like 10 to 14 or so, maybe 15. A lot of Jan and Dean and Dave Clark 5 records. Ramsey Lewis Trio. I remember that, but I really remember that Dave Clark 5, because it was Catch Us If You Can, and I about wore that thing out. Actually, I did. My brother said it was housed when he went to go clean those up to get them back going. And then that would have been like the early 80s. Like I think I got that around like 81 or 82. I got it from my cousin. And then when I was about 10, I had to share a room with my older brother, and he had like an actual component stereo with a tuner and a record player and at that time cassette deck, and decent speakers, and we had some records and nothing really great. A lot of Striper, whole lot of Striper, which I still have my Striper records. And then we moved. I got my own room, and our cousin, he got a component speaker. So I got like his old all-in-one unit with the giant knob, like this big for the volume, and the tuner, and 2 tape decks, and the record players on top. And then you get 2 crappy speakers with that, and that was awesome. And that would have been like the late 80s, so vinyl hadn't been, like, the record companies hadn't started phasing out records, and the library hadn't gotten rid of the records. So then my new game became going to the library while my parents were at work to check out George Carlin and Cheech and Chong records, because they weren't really digging on the drug humor, or and especially not for a 12-year-old. For some reason, parents get a little uppity when a 12-year-old makes jokes about cocaine. And definitely not digging on the F-bomb. I bought a few records like around that time, like at a garage sale or something. I think it's like Weird Al's Even Worse. I think I still have that one. And then the CDs just sort of took over. Actually, cassette decks took over for me. And then I was sort of completely out of the vinyl loop until about, I want to say about 98. I asked my dad for a record player. He got me a Technics. I think it's the 1200 series one, which I still have. And I got a few more records here and there, like just at a garage sale. So you were lucky to get what you got. You weren't really seeing anything good in record stores at any kind of price that was affordable. I vividly remember, like in 1997, went into one of the few record stores that still sold records, and they had Pink Floyd's The Wall, and I was like, oh, I want that record, I like that record. And it was like $200. It's like $200 for The Wall, you know. I mean, like, I'm 20, I don't know any different. I don't know what a first pressing goes for now. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen one with my own eyes, you know, or at least like now. I mean, maybe like when I was young, but and then I moved out. It was like when I was 20, and you know, you're sleeping on a couch. You have a job that you call the beer fund, and didn't really care too much about collecting records. I was more into CDs or cassette tapes at that time, mostly CDs though. And then in '06, I got like my own apartment, and when I was moving all my stuff, I found my record player, and I found a couple of records that I had, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, hey, I used to really dig that. And so like the one record that I remember having was Johnny Thunders record. It was it was a solo record, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome. That I have this record. I feel lucky to have this record. I still have it. And when I moved to a different town, and they had like an actual record store. I mean, he had CDs and cassettes too, but like he seemed to really focus on records, and I thought that was awesome. And the main record that I remember scoring when I lived over there, that really just kind of was like, whoa, I need to start looking for some really good stuff again, was on a whim I bought King Crimson and the Court of the Crimson King. Sean, plug your ears. I paid $6 for that record. Okay, Sean, you can come back in. And it was in good shape. And I remember thinking, man, this is an awesome record. This record is fun to listen to. And then I bought a few more records while I was over there, like Ramones, a lot of repressing, and that was like one of the main ones that I listened to a lot, and was those two records, because you know they have so much in common. And but it was kind of like you got what you got. What they decided to repress, they repressed, and or not, and now you're looking for what you're looking for. Or they did repress it back in 1998, but it's already on eBay for $100. Like I remember, I was like, dude, I really want to get Raw Power on vinyl. I want Raw Power. The Stooges' Raw Power. Love that record. And I want to score this record real bad. And nobody had it. It was ridiculous on eBay. I think it was $45 at the time. I mean, they've since repressed a ton of them, and you can get it fairly cheap. And then about 2010, I moved to a new place, and I didn't really have room for the stereo and stuff. And now we have the record player hooked back up, and we've been trying to score some records, and things are just different now. The North Street Records, where I scored the King Crimson and the Ramones, it's like 3 times, at least twice as big, if not 3 times bigger than it was, and their selection is huge. I mean, it used to be like a postage stamp, and if you were looking at jazz, then nobody could look at the blues because, you know, your ass was in the way in the aisle, and now it's awesome. And there's not just that store, there's 2, there's Reverberation. And me and my brothers both went to both stores and scored really good records at both stores. And the amount of stuff that's just available through repressing now, and it seems like prices have dropped even on original pressings. Somebody with a lot more knowledge, please, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's about where I'm at, about 100 records total. You know, I see a lot of people, they have, you know, more records in like one IKEA box behind their head, while they do their little video, or it seems like more records fit in there. I don't know how many do than I have total, and I'm not really jealous of them. You know, it's like, wow, you know, hey, if I'm diligent and I keep looking and digging and spending my money wisely, you know, that could be mine. You know, like just through the regular stuff. To the VC though, it's like I would love to see some video comments about like this. You know, as long as you're not like, noobs gotta go. I got no time for that. I got no time for elitism. I try not to do that to other people. One of the other thing is just like the amount of records people are like, dude, I scored this. I don't know who that is. You know, and I've been around for a while, and I'll listen to a lot of kinds of music, but just some of the stuff people are really excited about having on vinyl is like, I don't know, it's cool. So like, I would kind of like to know two things. Like a video comment would be great, like a video reply. But you know, I know videos take time and everything. This is actually the second time I shot this because the first one I was a little on, but I think this one's a little way more coherent. And I'd just like to know where you're at, like in collecting. Man, I feel like if I had to say one record that a lot of people haven't heard of, that's just great, man, you push it along, because like between the stuff I didn't know existed that does, and finding like these little record slots or slots where you can score like really good records. Man, I would love to hear what people have to say, or you're like, oh, here's a mistake a lot of rookies make. Here's how to avoid it. I would love to know that stuff too. So, man, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm sorry it wasn't as crazy as I usually am, or whatever. And like I said, I apologize to anybody that watched that other video. But yeah, hit me back, comment, video. I know it's late at night, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video a lot more.